So what do you think about Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley? 190 pounds, 20 by 20 ring, 8 rounds, 10-ounce gloves. What are we going to see here? Now, Tyron, by the way, just so you know, because I know, I've known him for a long time, he's trained boxing for a long, long time. It's not like he's an MMA fighter who's never trained boxing. I was at Wildcard with this guy 5 years ago.
I'm on the Dana train. I'm on the Dana train.
We're all old.
You're talking to Tyron Woodley from 4 years ago that was actually unstoppable, that was fast, that was hungry, that did everything. Or you're talking to Tyron Woodley that recently has been 0-4, who hadn't been quite able to pull the trigger, who hit 40 years of age, and 40 is a real number. I've seen it with DC, and it's like you can't turn back Father Time, man. And this is my question. Number one, Tyron can box, and this is a heavy hitter. And if he hits Jake and knock Jake the F out, Jake could do the same to him. One of the questions I have is this. Okay, Jake's been boxing over 3 years with professionals that really know. He's got BJ Flores, who's a hell of a coach. He's got Jake Chavez, who is a good friend of mine, who's a hell of a coach, who's working to give him advice. He's got some really good people behind him in boxing, okay? Tyron is just going to have to play catch-up. So that's another disadvantage for him. The advantage for Tyron is, bro, they're doing a rematch clause. So obviously Jake Paul's people feel that they could lose. Yeah. They feel that they could lose. Why would they give him a rematch clause if they didn't think they could lose? Well, if you're Tyron, what would you do? I'm signing the dotted line. Yeah, I'm going to knock the hell out of you, and then I'm going to knock the hell out of you again. I'm going to make triple, quadruple the payday that I've ever made in the UFC. And you know what? People are going to buy into this because this is a real fight. Yeah. Okay, the Ben Askren thing, the hype was good. Ben is a great talker, but Ben can't box. We knew that. Yeah. And I thought Ben was going to come out there and do the Logan Paul type of scenario with Mayweather, where he's all sloppy and wild and wrestling. That's what I thought. That's what I thought Ben was going to do. What does he go out there and try to box with him? I was like, oh no, what is he doing? You can't do that. Yeah. You can't do that. The Jake Paul is no joke as far as his boxing level. This guy, he's got skills, man, and he's got power. He's got speed, And the thing is, with Tyron, guess what? He is talented too. He's experienced. He's got power, and he's got speed. And he has one thing for damn sure: hardly ever been knocked out. Who took him out?
Nate Marquardt, and you think about that, he hit him with a flush, hard elbow with his right. That didn't knock him out. He hit him with an elbow to the left right after that. That didn't knock him out. Then he hit him with a hook. That finally, after 2 unpadded elbows and a left hook with the 4-ounce glove, stumbled him enough that he was going down. And then Nate hit him with that brutal uppercut as he was going down. And that's the only time he's been knocked out. Now, his last fight, just defending my boy Tyron a little bit, he did pull the trigger. He went after Vincent, and Vincent is a guy with 8 knockouts in the UFC, a vicious striker. He went after him. He took it to him, though he got the worst of it. And he also took multiple punches by Vincent, and we've seen Vincent knock people out with 1 punch in the UFC multiple times. Tyron took multiple punches and didn't get knocked out, and then they went to the ground, and then he got put in a choke. And Tyron wasn't like giving up and just flopping around like he was knocked out or hurt. He was fighting as hard as he could to get out of the choke, and then he couldn't get out of the choke. So to think that Jake Paul is going to just throw a 10-ounce glove, an overhand, and just hit him one time and knock him down like Ben Askren, I don't see that happening. I honestly can't imagine that happening.
No. But this is what you should expect, okay? This is something that's real. There's 10-ounce gloves. There's 4-ounce gloves. When you're used to sparring with 10-ounce gloves, there's a big advantage when the person that's sparring used to go with 4-ounce gloves. Now he has to do 10-ounce gloves. There's certain things you can do with 10-ounce gloves that you cannot do with 4-ounce gloves. Okay, so Woodley's gonna have to get used to that. So does he have enough time? Is Father Time caught him up? I know one thing: Tyron is a stud. I know another thing too: he's a legend. Okay, I know another thing too: he hits hard. Another thing, he's fast as hell. Another thing, he's happy as hell to fight this guy. So I know all those positives. I know it's going to be a bigger fight than the last one with Askren. This one's going to hit 1.5 to 2 million pay-per-view buys because this is the legit fight. And should Jake Paul get by Woodley? Should. And I say should because there's no guarantee. Because Tyron could just come out there and mop the floor with him. I'm not one to think that ain't going to happen. Bullshit. I didn't think that would happen ever with Ben. I didn't think Ben had a chance in the world to knock him out. I thought Ben's chance was to drown him.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
what I
know,
thought too.
later rounds. I thought Ben could drown him because he rough him up with wrestling, but he didn't do that. He went out and tried to box with him.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. What are you doing? See, I saw a video clip when they first started with Duke Rufus, and Duke Rufus was working a lot of inside grappling, tumbling, and this and that. And I go, because Duke's a hell of a coach, bro. He is a hell of a coach.
He is.
And I said, Duke's got it. He's got it. He's got the right idea. And then he's going to train with Freddie Roach. He's training with these guys that are just boxers. They don't know shit about what an MMA fighter can do and then the wrestling part and all that. Man. And I think personally, the fact that Mayweather wants to help Woodley could be bad and good. Could be bad, but could be good because, Mayweather's got an interest in it. And he is the greatest, probably the greatest of all time. And if you got him in your corner, it could give you a big boost, But my question is, which Woodley's going to show up? Yeah. The Woodley of 4 years ago? The Woodley of 4 years ago? He knocks out Jake Paul. I'm sorry. That's it. I knocks him out. This Woodley, I don't know.
I mean, you got to catch up to experience, though, Hob. And the thing is we have to look at the facts. And yes, I think Jake Paul has potential. I'm not trying to hate on Jake Paul. I think he has potential. I think it's great that he's got into boxing, and hats off to him. And he's a crazy dude. So he's the type of guy that's going to go out there and be like that Conor McGregor type and fight. He's not going to just quit and run away and cower down or something like that. So I think he has the potential to be a boxer. But to catch up with experience. I mean, Tyron's been boxing for a long time. I was there 5 years ago at Wildcard when he was boxing. He was sparring pro boxers at that time, doing well. He came to AK Thailand, and this is recent. He's been at AK Thailand multiple times, and he's came recently. And when he does pad work, I mean, people just stop. They don't even know who it is, like our guest. They don't even know it's Tyron Woodley or whoever it is, and they just stop and watch because, I mean, his power and speed is just phenomenal. And, even at this age, and this was recent.
Well, again, keep in mind, Damon Maia, 43 years of age, not the same. And I'm sorry, that was my only concern is that how much of that will we see? And he's playing catch up. He's never had a boxing match. Okay, he's not used to the 10-ounce gloves. 10-ounce gloves are a big difference. And you can spar all you want in the gym, but you go out there and play for real in the real ring. There's a little slight advantage over to Jake Paul. The youth advantage, the speed advantage might go with Woodley. I think. I think but the power. Sure. I think they both hit like brick walls. So we'll see. I mean, the bottom line is this is a fight people are interested. This is a fight that's going to sell. This is a fight that's going to make both of them very famous, both of them very rich. One's already a famous guy, but Woodley's going to become more of a household name after this. And if he decides that he's going to put it on the line and knocks Jake Paul out, guess what? He's got a rematch clause.
And
now he's going to do it again. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Tyron, bring it on. That's the best scenario for me.
I mean, he hasn't had a boxing fight, but he's went toe-to-toe in 4-ounce gloves with vicious guys and knocked him out. Jake Paul, you have to look at the facts, though. I mean, again, he has all the potential, but he's never fought a striker in his life. Not only has he never fought a boxer, he's never even fought a guy who trains in boxing. And then when you look at his fight camp, you got to look at it like this, too. He has the best coaches and the best trainers, but they're all yes men, and they're catered to him, and he's winning every round. How many rounds have you seen me win before a fight? Hub, you've never seen me win a round or win a sparring session before any of my fights, and I've knocked people out and I've won a lot of fights. Yeah, I've gotten my ass kicked every single fight camp I've ever had. He wins all of his training.
One place you're wrong, his coaches aren't yes men. BJ Flores is not a yes man.
No, I'm not saying his coaches are, but they cater the camp for him, and so he's very protected. And it's different when you're protected in your camp and you're such a big star, and he has star power. So even BJ Flores is going to treat him differently than a normal guy, for sure.
Let me give you a little story about BJ Flores, what he does with his students. Okay, BJ texts me when I'm in Las Vegas with Habib's crew. We're all doing our thing, and he goes, "Hey, Hab, do you have any good boxer guy that, we're in Vegas with Jake Paul's thing. Do you have any boxer guy you can send over? We'd like to this and that." And I said, well, I had There was two. There was a one Ramazan who is a badass boxer, and I thought Ramazan would probably do good, but I thought Jake Paul would probably edge him out, and I could be wrong about that. Ramazan might just mop the floor with Jake Paul. I'm not sure. And I sent another guy that was the number one kickboxer in the world, bro. This guy is 40-1. He's fighting for the World Glory kickboxing title, and this guy is a major stud. And I told BJ, I go, this guy knocks out heavyweights, bro. He knocks out heavyweights. You know, this guy's heavy-handed. He's not technically sound like a good boxer sound. I go, but this guy's got massive power. So and I'm thinking, okay, so BJ's going to take the other guy because I just told him this other guy's a freaking killer, right? Don't take the killer. What do you think he took? He took the killer.
Yeah.
A 40-1 kickboxer that's fighting one of the greatest glory kickboxers of all time. He took that guy, bro.
Oh.
I mean, I'm telling you, don't sell Jake Paul short. This boy can box. Okay, he doesn't have the experience,
and I'm not trying to. I don't want all the hate from the Jake Paul fans. I'm just saying he hasn't proved it yet, but I mean he can. I'm saying he has the potential.
But this is a perfect catalyst, because if he fought another guy like Ben Askren, people would have said, "Hey, F you, man.
Right.
We're not gonna spend our money on your ass." But now he's fighting a real legit dude that can actually box.
Yeah,
Tyron can actually box.
We're gonna know after this fight.
But the question I have is like Dana said. I'm sorry. Father Time catches us all.
Yeah.
I don't care. In my mind, I think I'm a badass. My body says I'm not. You're a fat ass. Straight up. We're not the same, bro. So whether we like it or not, Father Time catches us, It's like, Habib's mentioned about a couple fighters. He goes, they're done, coach. And I go, no, they're not done. And I'm just like, no, it's because he did this, because he did that. No, coach. You cannot reverse Father Time. They're done. And I'm like, no, Habib, no, you're wrong. No. Even though I knew he was right, I was still fighting him. No, but even though I knew he was right. And I go, yeah, Habib, you're right. If Father Time catches him. And that's all I'm saying, bro. Father Time. Now, does he have the ability to knock Jake out? Yeah. Does he have the ability to knock Jake out in a couple seconds? Yeah. But does Jake have the ability to do the same to him? Yes. The only thing I'm saying, two advantages. Okay, age, Jake Paul. 10-ounce gloves, not used to them. I'm telling you, you better think about that. There is a little difference in that.
Right.
There's a little difference in that. So those are the two edges I give a Jake Paul. Now, having a hell of a coach in BJ Flores and Jacob Chavez helping him and all the other guys, all the other world-class boxers he boxes, that's a big advantage for him. But so what? Woodley's going to have that too. With Mayweather, he's going to have galore guys to box with. And bro, it's a fight. It's a fight people are going to want to see. I want to see that. Like, I did not purchase Logan Paul and Mayweather. I didn't even want to watch it. It's like, give me a break. I don't want to
admit that I did.
Bro, take this. Who wants to watch a fight when there's no refs? I mean, no judges.
It's ridiculous.
No judges. 12-ounce gloves.
I got taken.
And you outweighed the guy by what, 40 pounds? 30-something, 40 pounds? Give me a break.
No winner announced.
Ain't going to happen. Look, listen, Mayweather beats both the Paul brothers on the same night with whatever amount of work they want.
Absolutely.
Floyd's the guy, dude. But that doesn't mean that Jake Paul can't box. It's just you're fighting against the greatest. Look what happened to Pacquiao when he fought Floyd Mayweather, bro. What happened to Pacquiao? Pacquiao was made look kind of silly, bro. And that's one of the greatest boxers of all time. Floyd made him look silly,
Canelo
what did he
too.
do to Canelo? Same thing. He made Canelo look silly. Yeah. Canelo could hardly ever touch him. Canelo's better now, but Mayweather's older. Yeah. Mayweather's older. I mean, that's just a fact. Can Canelo and Mayweather fight now? Probably not a good idea for Mayweather because Canelo's more experienced and he's younger. And Mayweather's what, 46 now? 44, 46?
40, I think 44, 45, something like that.
Yeah, so he slowed down. He ain't stupid. One thing Mayweather is an incredibly intelligent fighter, incredibly intelligent. He doesn't open up himself for nothing. And this fight only went 8 rounds, and I didn't see any of it. It's only because Mayweather allowed it, and he just let Logan Paul just wail on him and wrestle him and throw him off balance. But, from what I heard, I didn't see it because I didn't want to watch it. I thought it was a joke, and I think I'm correct. I think it was a joke. But hey, Jake Paul, Woodley, not a joke. Jake Paul, if the UFC allows Jake Paul to go at it with Nate Diaz, that's the next step up. Now, unless Woodley whoops his ass, then the rematch is the next step up. There's a lot of exciting fights. So for my money, it'd be cool if Woodley takes him out.
I'm just happy that like he's stepping up and fighting a real fighter now, and I'm going for my boy Tyron Woodley because he's my friend and I've seen him train and I know he's vicious. But at the same time, I'm interested to see what's going to happen, and I'm interested to see what Jake does, whether he does good or whether he doesn't. What he does after that? Does he quit or does he continue or does he beat Tyron and become a superstar? Like it's going to be interesting either way it goes. But obviously I'm going for my boy Woodley. And I do truly think Willie's going to destroy him. But let me ask you just real fast, because a lot of people probably want to know, especially fighters coming up. What would you say, as one of the most experienced coaches in the business, the upside and the downside of a guy having a camp like Jake Paul, where you have the same coaches every day monitoring you and taking care of you and coaching you, and someone like the route that Tyron's going, where he is moving around, he's going to great places with great coaches. But what do you think was the up and down side of moving around to different places throughout your camp versus staying in one place and doing your whole camp, with good coaches at one place?
I'll tell you this, for me, it's very simple. If I teach you how to jab, and you learn my jab, do you pick up that jab and learn it right away and all of a sudden you become a master jabber? Or is it going to take you quite a long time?
Long time. Okay,
so if you're switching from camp to camp, are you really benefiting yourself or are you hurting yourself? You're hurting yourself. You're not benefiting yourself because you're coming into a new camp, new people. You're having to do it their way. They're not used to what you're doing. They don't know what you do. So it's not the ideal situation. Like if I was going to do something, I was going to fight, I'm going to stick with my people. I'm not going to go with anybody else than the people I've been involved with. That's it. I'm not going to switch. It's not smart. It's not smart at all.
Yeah, I'm asking because I never did. I stayed with you guys the whole time, so I don't have experience going from camp to camp to camp. Let me ask you, so can you give me, not who you think is or who you want to win or who you favor in any way, but can I get a prediction of what you think you're going to see on August 28th?
The honest opinion?
What do you think you're going to see? Yeah.
I think I'm going to see an explosive knockout. I don't know who. I really don't know who's going to knock out who. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, I'm not betting against Woodley and I'm not really going with Jake. I just think you're going to see a fun, exciting fight. I think you're going to see a fight that people are going to go, oh, you really got tested here, buddy. It was no cakewalk. This is not going to be a cakewalk. And this is a fight we're going to see. This is a fight that will tell you if Jake Paul is the real deal or not. I think he is, but we'll see. We know one thing. Woodley is the real deal. That one thing, everybody can agree on that, right? Everybody can agree. Woodley is the real deal. That is the real deal. Not everybody's going to agree on Jake being the real deal. I think Jake is the real deal, but not everybody's going to agree with me. I think 50% or more are going to say he's not, and he's got so much hate on him that more people are going to want to tune in to watch him get his ass beat than people are going to want to see him win. He's got so much hate, and you know what? I got to give him credit because the way he plays the heel is the right way. He's not attacking country. He's not attacking family. He's not attacking girlfriends. He's doing stupid little things like Floyd Mayweather. I got your hat. I got your hat. No. Who the hell would ever thought that was going to trigger Floyd off and piss him off to no end?
Yeah, he was
pissed. I got your hat.
He was so pissed.
He didn't talk about this kid. He didn't talk about nothing. Now that is a genius right there. Come on. You can't disagree with that.
It's kind of a slap in the face, though, a little bit. Like if someone slapped me in the face, it's going to be on. I can tolerate. I can talk. I can kind of be political with people. Especially if I know I can beat them up or whatever. But if someone like touches me or does something, or that's kind of a little bit intrusive, and I don't know. That green light kind of lights up a little bit.
Would you rather that person grab your hat or talk about your mother, your country, your religion?
I mean, honestly, grabbing a hat, I'd probably just laugh off, because it's so immature, and I would just be like, dude, really? Like, did you just grab my hat? Like, I would laugh that off probably.
And it got him crazy. What about the other one? When he's in that truck, when he's in that truck, and he goes with the Bellator guy, and he throws a toilet paper at him. He's throwing toilet paper out and he's calling him all kinds of names. And he comes out running after him and he's like, ha, ha, you pussy, ha, ha, ha. And then falls on his ass trying to hit him back with the toilet paper. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? That's like genius. Or what about when he went with DC? When he went, you know damn well he went purposely to that arena to entice him. But the problem is
DC don't play.
DC. That was I'm telling you right now.
That could have been ugly.
Straight up right now. You want to get your ass beat? Go with DC, then you can get your ass beat. That he ain't winning that one.
I'm going to tell you this, Hob. From what I know from DC, and he's one of the funniest, craziest, goofiest guys ever to train with, who I love to listen to in the gym. But I'm going to tell you this. If DC didn't have a job with the UFC and he wasn't actually working, where the UFC has a pretty strict policy on don't fuck around and they'll cut you in a heartbeat if you screw up. If he wasn't working for the UFC and commentating and having everything that he has, Jake Paul would have got his ass beat. If that had happened at the hotel or something like that, Jake Paul would have got at least slapped.
They don't understand that. Leave the bear alone.
You got to be careful who you poke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like DC wouldn't take that shit.
He comes across as the real super funny kind of guy.
Yeah.
He'll fight, man. He ain't playing.
No,
he ain't playing.
He will.
You can't play with him like that. You cannot talk about him. You cannot do this, and you know he'll fight you, and he'll fight you right then and there. And yeah, if it was in a dark alley or the street, forget the dark alley. If it wasn't during his job, I cannot tell you he wouldn't have. And it isn't going to be boxing.
No.
It ain't going to be boxing. You got to pick him up and slam
Throw
him.
him on his head.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You better have the bodyguards protect you, because there's nothing you could do that's going to stop him from smashing.
He knocked out the heavyweight champ of the world. He could do anything.
But again, beautiful marketing. I applaud both brothers. And look, you know, they took the loss. Logan Paul took the loss and made it a win. I win 8 rounds with the greatest. I win 8 rounds with the greatest.
Right.
And I didn't see the fight, but I saw clips. And he looked pretty bad. He looked really bad.
He was exhausted after 2 rounds. Hob, he was so tired after 2 rounds from boxing, and all he was hitting was air. He couldn't hit Mayweather. So he may have hit him 1 or 2 times in 2 rounds. The rest was shadow boxing, basically, hitting air. And he was holding himself up on the ropes because he was so exhausted after 2 rounds. So, I mean, his cardio, and this shows you, I don't think he doesn't train hard. And this is going to go into effect with Jake Paul fighting Tyron as well. I don't think these guys don't train hard. I think they train hard. But there's a difference when you've never fought and then you get out there and that adrenaline's going, you're in a fight, you know, you got the nerves going, it zaps you. And I think that's what happened to Logan Paul is all that energy got zapped out of him because he had that pressure. And he was out there with freaking Mayweather.
Well, he was made to miss. If Woodley can make Jake Paul miss, it'll happen to him too, correct? But you got to make him miss. I don't know of one fighter in the world that I've ever seen that's going to do that to anybody other than Mayweather. He's the master slipper of slippers. I've never seen anybody as good as him.
For sure. No, of course.
You know, he's the best I've ever seen.
But I'm saying experience-wise, the longer that fight goes with Jake Paul, the more Tyron Woodley is going to be more comfortable and more strong.
Advantage Tyron's experience. Yes, Woodley has more experience. Look, listen. You asked me who I thought. You asked me honestly. I don't know. No. I know it's a fight I will definitely tune in. I know it's a fight I definitely want to watch because I know that fight could end in the first second in the last bit of the last round. Yeah. And it could be either one of those guys holding their hands up. And I'm kind of happy for Woodley because he's going to get a monster payday, bro. And
I'm loving it.
He's going to get another master payday, you know, monster payday, not master, monster payday. Yeah. So kudos to him. I like Woodley. He came to my gym a long time ago. He trained with us 2 times, right? When Mark Ellis was with us, he came
a long time ago. That's how we met. We were all in the Airdyne and stuff, and he was inspired by how hard we trained, and he was like, "Man, you guys kill it here," you know. And so he started training a little bit with us. Yeah,
I like him, and it wouldn't, you know, if I'm being honest, I would want him to win. Yeah. I just don't know if he can. You know, I don't know. But if you ask me, if you go, Hob, who do you want to win? Woodley. Not even going to second guess that. Hands down, Woodley. But can I don't know.